Hey, Marvel fans, it is Thursday, and you know what that means. Tonight we are talking MCU. Tonight we're talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We're giving our review, so we're going to start out non-spoilery, and we'll let you know when it's spoiler time, so you can watch up to that point if you don't want to be spoiled. Just like we typically do. But so yeah, we've got some Marvel Cinematic news, teasers, and speculation about what's to come for you. So please don't go anywhere and don't miss out. This is the FOMO Show. All right, what's up? My name is Dylan.
Sorry, I hadn't talked to that. My name is. It's happening again. I'm Quinn.
You all right?
Good. Yes, I'm good. Hi, I'm Quinn. Cool. Yeah.
No crazy voice tonight?
not yet.
All right, yeah. So thank you guys for watching, for joining us. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Trovo, whatever, please like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon so you know when we drop new videos, when we go live, and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, and once again, thank you guys for your support. If we, they've once again frozen our account. So, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, if you want to give monetarily, that's fine too. There should be a tip thing in there where you can go do that. If you want to do Patreon or whatever to see the channel grow, I really appreciate that. But most of all, please just like and subscribe. Huge help. Thank you guys so much. Share. If you don't want to subscribe, just share. Thank you. Lots of people out there watch Marvel stuff. Just, let them know that we're here. Yeah, and check out the website at www.broken.pictures.com. And we've got some merch there if you want to check that out. And let us know what you might else want to see. What else you might want to see in the store. So, all right. So, special notes. Just sorry for the lateness. Worked really late tonight, so I'm barely here. But I'm here. We're here, and we're ready to go. So, yeah, with that, just, Oh, do it.
Yes. All right. So, I guess this is it.
Well, let's not do this. Let's not do that just yet. Yeah, because we don't want anybody to think we're doing spoilers just yet. So,
overall, what do you think of the movie?
Just rating. Let's see. Overall, I thought it was definitely horror. It was more horror. It was more violent. It was more dark than I expected. Excellent. It went so far out into left field and then brought it home so hard. So that came out right before, and so I think it kind of ruined the expectations
of this movie.
Yeah, because Marvel has to walk a tightrope because they have to hit that family group.
Yeah, that demographic.
Yeah, the demographic. But they still have to push boundaries, and their audience is so big you can't hit everybody. Yeah, you can't win everybody. And some people didn't think it went far enough because they saw everything everywhere all at once, and they, we could have done more. Wish they would have had more. But then other people thought that it went too far, that it was confusing, or it wasn't for them, or you know what I mean. So I mean, it depends because people want to see it because it's an MCU movie. But you also have to remember this is a Doctor Strange movie.
It was going to be like in the name, straight up.
Yeah.
So I guess for me, and I'm sure for you, and then also Andrew, and I think everybody that we went with on Saturday followed the movie, and I don't think anybody had any questions of like, so what really just happened? I don't think we had any of those questions. And I like it.
I think at the beginning, just because of if you've watched any of the breakdowns or the speculation about who's going to be what, and even just in the trailers where you see different versions of Doctor Strange, at the beginning it's like, okay, which one are we watching?
Yeah.
And
the trailer did do... go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, and Feige even said the trailers revealed way too much.
Way too
Too much. Because that was another thing that Spider-Man had a problem with, was spoilers and people dropping things online before the embargo was lifted, and not to mention the speculation on movies like this, especially where there are going to be cameos, are out there. Like, everybody's expecting everybody to show up.
Yeah.
And there's no way they can realistically do that. So I would say, as far as that goes, curb your expectations, be more realistic, and just don't expect too much. But go in expecting to have fun, and that it's going to be a horror movie.
Good God.
And that it's a Sam Raimi movie. You're going to get that Raimi camera work. And you're going to see the Oldsmobile and all that type of Raimi-esque stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be in there. This is a Raimi film. It's fun, especially if you're a horror fan or Raimi fan.
I thought it was really fun most of the time.
He does not like horror movies.
There was points in times where I was like, all right, are y'all going to keep doing this, or are you going to go back to the movie I was watching before? That's fine. But yeah, overall,
it's got some weirdness.
It was good. I will say that I've said this several times. I've said this in many an episode. We are at a point in time now in the MCU and the MCU going forward. I even said it back in WandaVision when we were doing that, where they are making movies and things to where some folks will not catch on to it, because it's a lot of deep cuts now. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of things that comic fans that have been reading them for years will appreciate, and they're even going back to stuff back when comics looked like goddamn newspaper.
Yeah.
Taking stuff and bringing it to the modern times. Like I said,
a lot of fan service in this movie.
Yeah. So
if you're up on everything, so that also brings me to the point. Or go ahead and finish.
I think I was done.
Okay. That also brings me to the point. So, what do you need to watch in order to be prepared for this movie? So you'll be caught up.
Oof.
Definitely WandaVision.
So hard.
At least the Doctor Strange What If episode, but What If, because it establishes the rules of the multiverse.
Yep.
I would say also Loki, because it establishes at least the last episode of Loki.
Yeah.
At the very least.
It gives you...
Well, the last episode of Loki's not going to make sense. Rewatch it.
Really
if you didn't watch all of Loki, then don't just watch the last episode. But Loki, also I would say some people said that in Endgame and Infinity War, it does play a part because it happens afterward. Mm-hmm. But I would say more so Doctor Strange, because of... You can just type it is character driven, which I really liked. Because a lot of if I would not have rewatched Doctor Strange beforehand, there was a lot that I wouldn't have understood about where they were going or why they were doing this.
Because it was his solo movie, so it carried things over as they do in their solo movies.
Yeah.
And
things that are unique to his character and him as a person, mm-hmm. and what he likes and who he is, that played a bigger role than I thought would.
Yeah. Because they and I think that's a thing we haven't had in a while. Like Shang-Chi was an origin story. Eternals essentially was an origin mm-hmm. story. And those are the only solo films. Spider-Man.
Black Widow.
Black Widow was an
action spy movie.
Yeah, action spy movie. It was meanwhile kind of movie. Mm-hmm. Before, it was basically her prequel before the last two Infinities. Yeah,
before after Civil War.
After Civil War.
And then it was more character driven than we're used to. I think. I think as far as like character driven.
That we haven't had in a while, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was big because we were invested over the course of the decade with Cap and Iron Man and Thor and their stories over the long haul. It was like their character arcs.
Yeah.
But like Spider-Man, like we're all familiar with Spider-Man. There was some character stuff there, but
Spider-Man essentially.
Yeah.
Well, sorry to cut you off. Was just like the end game of Spider-Man movies. Like there was character stuff, but it did the thing that all the Avengers movies do, and just like take the character and have them hit their high notes. One character may get a little bit more growth than some of the others, but other than that, everybody's just hitting those really cool moments.
Yeah, and sometimes it's kind of like where things are just happening and they jump from happening to happening, and there's really no. It's just them dealing with things, and there's really no like character arc there. There's no growth. There's no change. But for Doctor Strange 2,
there was a lot.
Every variant of Doctor Strange contributed to his growth as a character, and I really appreciated that. That is something that like I appreciate Scott Derrickson, and I think he could have done it. But bringing in a name like Raimi has a certain level of trust and finesse that he was able to balance all that and do it well.
Yeah. So.
And Derrickson, I could have absolutely done it, but he doesn't have the name recognition, and the fans like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because there was a lot of stuff that he did in Doctor Strange that was amazing that he does not get credit for.
Yeah.
People are like, oh yeah, Doctor Strange was kind of slow or this or that. It's like Doctor Strange was a slow burn. It was good.
Yeah,
it was really good.
So, anything else?
But this one was not. It was like one of the reviews. A lot of the reviews I saw said it was kind of slow at the beginning, but man, they hit the ground running. I don't see where they thought that.
Unless they like were sleeping through the first 5 minutes and then went to the wedding. That's it. Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right.
So that's all we've got for non-spoilery stuff. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you can check out now. And thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time. No episode next week, by the way. No episode Thursday night next week.
No.
But we may pick it up another time or do something else. Just like or subscribe so you know when we go. Follow us on social media and you'll see stuff too.
Also, yes.
So I'll go ahead and pass that off to you, sir.
If you haven't left now, then that was your last chance, because this is your spoiler alert. In this episode of the FOMO Show, we will be talking about Doctor Strange, Mom. Multiverse of Madness. So if you haven't watched this, pause this, go buy a ticket. I mean, it's late at night, but I mean, late at night now. Don't worry about that. Go buy a ticket, watch it, then come back. Unless you want to be spoiled because you don't like MCU movies because you're weird, but whatever. You have been warned.
What happened to our graphic?
Huh, weird.
Yeah, I'm going to have to reset it again. Program is acting funky. So last thing we talked about, like what plays into it.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, what do you need to watch in order to...
Everything.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit of everything. Yeah.
So what if WandaVision... WandaVision, what if... Because I can't say that sentence without it sounding like it's together. WandaVision, what if Loki... That's it.
Doctor Strange.
And the original... and the first Doctor Strange. Yeah. And that one scene from Infinity War.
Everybody's
yes. So that is what really like chipped into the pot that is the Multiverse of Madness stew. So they said, and they did a lot of things in this movie. They said things without saying things, a lot. Like in every timeline,
there was a lot of read between the lines stuff that we're still. I think we're going to be unpacking this one for a long time.
Yep. And then down the line, next Avengers movie, say, "Oh my gosh, it's brain shatter." So in the Doctor Strange episode of What If, they talked about an absolute point in time, like things that cannot be changed no matter what. In that, it was Christine dying, but I don't think that's the actual absolute.
Well, the wreck his hands. But I don't think there's two in there essentially, because all of their hands are broken, but also all of them are not with Christine. Yeah, and they all have the watch apparently.
Yes, so his relationship with Christine ending in whatever shape, form, or fashion, and his hands getting broke off, is an absolute point in time. That if it is changed, their universe turns to inky goo. Inky goo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, because all of them seem to be driven by their loss
of Christine one way or another. Defender Strange had her, but they divorced.
Did they divorce?
That's what she said.
I thought she said that they didn't figure that out yet.
Was that Defender? No, wait.
Oh, no, that's right. She was with Supreme Strange.
Yeah.
They're the ones that didn't figure it out.
Yep.
But Defender Strange, I don't remember.
Yeah. She said he had lost
her. He blew
her.
it. I know he blew it,
yeah. So I just assumed they got divorced. But yeah, he blew it there. Supreme Strange ended up dying. And Doctor Strange got, so she was like, meh. And when found a whole nother dude who's a fan of Doctor Strange.
I know, right? So just the fact that, like, I get that they're close and they have a relationship, but bruh, you do not approach a woman at her wedding and I wish things could have worked out. It's like, no, what? You're too late, man. You can't do that.
Bold. They said I do it, everything. And he at the bar being like, I love you. Like, golly.
I know. And she's just like, oh, well. Yeah, things,
She was like, too bad, boy. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Will you come meet my husband? He's a big fan.
Uh-huh.
It's hilarious. Also, all Wanders are OP. In every universe, every iteration.
Another read between the lines thing is the Wanda that was possessed. She's a mutant.
She is a mutant. They said it without saying it.
Yep.
Because if Professor X exists, that means Magneto exists. If Magneto exists, he is her father.
Yep. And Ian McKellen even Elizabeth Olsen said something about wishing that they could do more and then have him be her father, Magneto be her father and everything. And Ian McKellen was like, if I had a daughter, I wish she was like you.
Aww.
Yeah. So.
Aww. Aww. So yeah, that's it. And then also the beginning of the movie.
Returning.
Huh? Oh, I was supposed to say characters.
Oh, okay.
I missed the letters. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a lot of returning characters.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're fine. But the beginning of the movie was strange. So after the wedding. So after the wedding, even before the wedding, we got these two like eldritch looking creatures. That was my only gripe. That's what it was. So we had these two eldritch looking creatures. We had Gigantos, which was the eyeball, which I kind of wonder.
It's supposed to be Shumagorath.
Yeah.
But rights issues, and so they had to call it Gargantos.
Yeah.
If it's Gargantos, then that's another read between the lines thing that Namor.
Yeah. Which I mean, so what it ended up boiling down to was Wanda using the Darkhold to like summon these other things to go after America Chavez because she didn't want to because she couldn't travel to the universe she was in to get her. But then I'm also like, then how'd you find out she existed?
Yeah, so she was basically dreamwalking into these creatures, I assume, is the way
It's the way
she's controlling them, or dreamwalking into herself and then putting the runes on the creatures to go get after. I'm not sure exactly.
I'm thinking because
they all had runes, so she could control it.
So I'm thinking, this is once again a stretch. She summoned them from the Darkhold, but because they weren't real, they were just manifested from the Darkhold. She could flick them into another universe or summon them somewhere else. But then even still, she might have to dreamwalk depending on I don't know. The magic is weird because no, she would have to dreamwalk, I guess. Yeah, that's why
because she can't go to the other universe.
Because she ain't go to the other universe.
Yeah, which is a big change from the comics because Wanda in the comics, and they even alluded to it in WandaVision that she is a Nexus being.
Yeah.
So are they changing the definition of what a Nexus being is? Because America Chavez, there's only one of her. And she travels throughout. So
the entire multiverse.
Does that mean, is that what a Nexus being is in the MCU?
You are just a prime being.
Yeah, because in the comics, like there are other Wandas.
Yeah.
But do they don't share a consciousness? So what does that mean that she's a Nexus being? Like they're all the same?
She is the one that the others originate from.
Meaning? She's
Wanda Prime. And every other Wanda is stemmed from a decision that she did or didn't make.
Okay, so there's not like where Loki, there's just like a female version or an alligator version. Like they're all based off her like split timelines. Okay.
And she is where they all, like if you trace them all back, it's Wanda. Yes.
Interesting. I don't want to try to wrap my head around how they were born and like they just all follow variations of the same path, apparently.
Yep.
Okay. But if that's true, then
so
how can Wanda in that version be a mutant?
Yeah, that's where things get hairy.
Yeah.
It's because there's a lot of things with that. But with all of that, it did feel like the movie was in a bubble again. Kinda, not really. Dang, I said that without looking at it, and that's exactly what it says.
A bubble?
A bubble. Feeling, again.
So, explain what you mean by that.
So, as it is with any of the movies, especially now that we... And it's... Okay, all right.
Like a contained story?
It contained, but not contained, because nobody else seemed aware of it. And it's Wanda created the Hex. Everybody was aware of it. Doctor Strange was aware of it. He just didn't show up, but that was also because of COVID.
Right. Yeah, scheduling and all that stuff.
But S.H.I.E.L.D. was aware of it. Not S.H.I.E.L.D., SWORD. They showed up, and they were trying to deal with it. Vision also was then reborn from all of that, and just flew off. So with Wanda doing everything that she was doing, them definitely having tabs on her, because who's to say she won't do that mess again?
For sure. She technically was. She had a hex of that little area where she was.
And everything else. I mean, a lot of the events were happening kind of fast paced, and part of it was happening at Kamar-Taj, but you would think...
Yeah, she wasn't making big waves publicly.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that's the only reason that it was on no one else's radar.
I'm sorry. Could you imagine watching the news and it's just like every other month or every month there's like, oh, Doctor Strange fights a sea creature in the middle of New York City.
Yeah, because that did happen in the middle of New York City.
Yeah.
So no one else said anything, and no one said anything about it. No one showed up to check on it. And I get it. You can't have folks showing up in every movie and always crossing over and all that. But it's still that thing of like they're trying to keep it contained until they don't want it to be contained.
Yeah, but it's things like so it almost becomes a plot hole when something world shattering happens and no other big hero shows up that's supposed to protect the world. Mm-hmm. So it like to a certain extent like if these stories are dealing with what they're dealing with personally and it just happens to affect the world and that's why other people don't get involved, that's one thing. But when you've got like when they've got their stories and you're watching the movie and they go show up to aid in something unrelated to them because they're just heroing, then why don't they go hero and this other thing? But shoot, I forgot where I was going with that. So yeah, it can get plot holy, but other things are happening, and they're dropping subtle hints here and there. For instance, I think it might have been WandaVision when one of the little news tickers at the bottom of the thing said political unrest in New Asgard. Asgard, and that plays into Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just a little Easter egg type thing, but it alludes to the movie that's coming.
Everything else that is still, let's show that it's still connected in some way. Mm-hmm. Like the best of the current phase, the show / movie that has done it the best. You know what I'm about to say? Take a wild guess. Just take a guess.
The show that did it best?
The show or movie that did it best.
Connected everything?
That like made it still feel like it was the greater connected MCU.
Oh, Civil War.
Of like this phase.
Oh, this phase?
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
There's only one.
Captain America or Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
That is the one. Because not only did they travel around, get Zemo out, and everything. They had the freaking Akum Malaje show up. Mm-hmm.
And they were dealing with repercussions directly of Infinity War.
Yeah.
And Endgame.
Not to mention they laid out the chart of the things that it can be if there is a problem. Cyborgs, wizards.
Androids.
And androids, yes.
He wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong. So yeah. And also
Cyborgs, wizards.
Cyborgs, wizards?
Androids.
Aliens, wizards,
yeah,
and androids.
Aliens, wizards, and androids.
Yeah. And also, so since this one was wizards, I think also that's in my head, that's why I'm like, no one else is showing up because they all heard what Wanda did and they don't want any part of it. So they're going to let Doctor Strange have all of this one.
Mm-hmm. And to be honest, like her, as far as like being a blip on anybody else's radar, she kind of flew under the radar. Like they did that pretty well. I mean, obviously not. I mean, well, even when things got nuts with the Illuminati and things in another universe.
Oh my God.
Like they were in remote locations or they were in secret locations, even in Mount Wundagore, which is nobody knew where that was except for certain people. So yeah, they did the thing in New York in the middle of the city. That was the only thing.
That was the only thing that would have raised an eyebrow.
Yeah.
But it was taken care of, so everybody's like, well, let's just clean it up, move on, call damage control if they're still around. Also,
run by the government now, according to Spider-Man.
Speaking of which, he remembers Spider-Man, and Wong remembers Spider-Man because he told Wong about the spell. So, at least one person remembers him. Well, but also, I
think everybody remembers Spider-Man because remember, Happy remembers Spider-Man too. Everybody remembers Spider-Man, they just don't remember Peter Parker.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But he also didn't,
because he was familiar enough with Peter Parker, but she was just like, he shoots spider webs out of his butt, and he was like, I don't know. I hope not.
That's the other thing that like opens the gates a bit and like expands the bubble to another bubble. Is she has traveled the multiverse and not ran into another Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or a Spider-Man. She's ran into plenty of strangers, just no Spider-Man.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, I mean, I lived in New York City, and friends of mine walk in the city, run into celebrities, and
All the time.
all the time, apparently. I worked at Hard Rock, and I saw plenty of celebrities there, but just walking the streets, never saw celebrities. So from my perspective, if by that logic, I'd say there are no celebrities in New York.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. They're everywhere. I just wasn't.
So knowing when they...
Yeah, so she could be passing through the multiverse and just not crossing paths with him.
Okay, here's a slight hole. The slight hole with it. So, at this point in time in the movie, she cannot control her powers. It's just when she gets really scared. So she's in a universe. She's there probably for a hot minute until someone goes boo.
Or bzzz.
Or bzzz. And she manages to run across various other heroes we can, assuming, at least a Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
maybe.
she looks for Doctor Strange.
Yeah. And I just find it that it's just, I guess, the oddest thing that with all the Spider-Man, there are a lot of them, she hasn't even heard of him. Because she straight up asked, who's
Also, like
Spider-Man?
Occam's razor, like a necessity.
Yeah. Okay. I guess. Sure. But also, Morbius.
Am I using that correctly? Occam's razor.
I think so.
It can't happen. Will happen.
Yes.
No, Occam's razor is I remember it. I just can't put it into words right now because I'm tired.
I got you. But yeah. And then also in Morbius, because I know the end credit scene, that's the one part that matters. The Thing a while ago, Vulture got kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vulture got kicked out of his original universe.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. That's not how the spell works.
It's not, but did I not say that's probably what it is, because that's the only thing I could think that would make sense. Or I would be like, they're going to do this weird thing where this is going to be, that's how it's going to be. Which means we don't know who else got actually kicked out then. Because if it bumps you into another universe.
That's got to be something else. Even though they alluded that being the spell, it's got to be some other thing, because at this point, the reason the spell was went haywire and not was, because he's done the spell before and he felt comfortable enough. He's done it before and other stuff. And yeah, Doctor Strange is arrogant and these things, but he's good at what he does. So the only reason the spell went haywire, according to Kevin Feige, was because Sylvie killed He Who Remains, and it allowed everything to go nuts.
It
unraveled. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why everything is such a huge, earth-shattering crisis in every movie, because everything that can go wrong is going wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just everything is unraveling.
Everything everywhere,
Yeah.
all at
And
once.
things are crashing into each other. And so that could be an incursion of why he crossed over.
Yeah.
Which is weird, but we don't know the full rules yet. But still, that's not how it can't be the spell. That's not how the spell works. And I don't think Sony understands their own stuff. They need to quit. Nobody wants El Muerto.
I mean,
But anyway, that's
Yes.
Anyways,
so, but yeah, I guess the last little bit in this part. So some of the notable universes that they passed by when the first break that she did with Doctor Strange from 616. We'll get to that part in a minute.
And that's a whole thing too. Is like it being 616 because according to like in the comics, the main universe is 616, right? Mm-hmm. And it was the closest thing you can get to 666 because he thought it was hell.
Yeah, that's also a universe. We don't want to go there.
Yeah, but according to behind the camera and other writers and Feige, this was like universe 199999999 whatever.
Yeah.
But then
10999.
Yeah. So yeah, something like that. And but then in Thor: The Dark World, Eric Selvig had 616 as an Easter egg on his whiteboard when he was writing out all these different things when he was possessed by Loki. So there was that, and then of course in Loki, 616 on the reel, showing that he was part of Universe 616. And then Mysterio said, this is Universe 616. But how would he know he was a con man?
Yeah, he was.
So that's, yeah.
That one was just a straight Easter egg.
With her, but then with Christine saying, your universe is 616, like that doesn't necessarily make it so either because she's not from there. She doesn't get to name it.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's like everybody coming from Earth 1 because, like, we're Earth 1. We found you first.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's, yeah. We'll also get into that. All right. But, yeah, some of the notable universes that they passed by, did you see any that you thought were worth
Mustafar.
Moose. They passed
they did Mustafar Easter egg and What If, too.
Yes. They passed through the Noir Spider-Man world, which was Dylan. That was some 1920s.
It was, but that doesn't mean it was the Spider-Man one because
it was
because of rights.
Yeah,
things.
because of rights, but it was a Noir world.
It was.
So
there was the blimp, and that could very well.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
open to interpretation.
Passed through it looked like
paint goo,
a cartoon world.
A cartoon world that was not completely the art style of What If, so it wasn't really that either.
Yeah, but they were nodding. I think that little 30 seconds was a lot of nods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A dinosaur one, which
oh my god,
Savage Land.
Primal Avengers.
Yeah, but the Savage Land is in 616. It's just in Antarctica.
Yeah. Oh, that's a whole different thing. We're on two different pages right here. Yes, Savage Land is in Antarctica, but the Primal Avengers is
different universe. Yeah.
So yeah, but there was a 30 seconds. There was a lot of nods, and then we finally get to Earth 838. Whoops.
I got it. It's empty.
Okay, we're all good. We get to a whole brand new Earth. We get where everything, the buildings are like overgrown but not overgrown. It's like a controlled growth. Everything's very green and prosperous. The lights, you go on red instead of green,
which is messed up.
This is messed up. Doctor Strange was slightly a dick to Bruce Campbell, but it's fine.
Nice Easter egg. The Evil Dead in the hand. Yeah. Like if this is because of Reed Richards, then it's like Reed is also like one of those absent-minded professor types.
Yes.
So it's like red. Why?
Yes. But yeah. So then
somebody's running around upstairs.
Okay. They walk. Get that memory. We have sad time. America Chavez sees a Doctor Strange memory. Doctor Strange is like, this is a waste of time. America Chavez is like, why'd they show this memory? I hate this.
I know. That's like, it was a cool way to show like a character moment, but at the same time, it's like, okay, this is weird because now everybody sees your personal business. You're just walking down the freaking street.
I mean, it's like
Or is this a world where everybody's just completely open with everything, and there's just we're so far in the future, there's no privacy, not even in your mind or your life, which is scary.
A little bit, yes.
Unless you're Reed Richards, then you get to have the Illuminati and be private.
In the middle of New York.
In Central Park.
In Central Park.
How secret is that?
Not at all.
Well, technically it was the Baxter Foundation.
Yeah. Once they said that, I was like, gone. I'm out.
Yeah. I know. I had to sit like several people away, and I was just like. At one point, Shay looked over and she was like.
So yeah, then they find the Sanctum Sanctorum. They see Doctor Strange's statue. He died fighting Thanos. And
Thanos died fighting Thanos.
Yes. Barry Mordo comes out there.
Skewered that sucker.
Really did. Barry Mordo comes out there like, "Hey, what's up, bro? What's up, fam? How good, bro? It's good. Want some tea? I want some."
Oh, Baron. Oh shoot. What was it? Baron Chuck Mordo. What is this? Carl. Baron Carl Mordo.
Carl.
Which is comic accurate.
Yes. So yeah, then they get sent to the Baxter Foundation building, which is also doubles as the Illuminati headquarters. Because why not? So Doctor Strange talks to Christine. She's like, yeah, it's the whole thing of it's Earth from 616. And he's like, what happened with us? And she's like, fam, we didn't figure it out. And he's like, oh, do you want to try? And she's like, fam, stop.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
But then, we get a nice little, kind of like a read between the lines movie illusion that he's different because, your hands are broken, but they're broken differently. It's like that he's different. He's the same but different.
Same but different.
Because they play with that too. It's like, you're just like all the other ones.
So then, Ultron.
Not quite.
Not quite. Ultron bots come in there. Strange gets dragged into another very, what I assume, sterile room. It smells cold. I don't.
Smell-o-vision over
here. And one by one, of course, we get the introductions for the Illuminati. Yes. We get Captain Carter, because she wasn't playing. She threw the shield like,
bruh, she was just like, you better put some respect on his name. It's like, Carl? Yo, what you say? That's my man.
She was like, you good, baby? I'm good, baby. Thank you.
She was not having it.
Not having it. Carl.
And this is also not the same Captain Carter from What If either.
Yes,
because
it is not.
We know season 2 What If she's coming back. So she's not beside herself.
She's not. But What If also did like I said, it established a lot of stuff. So if you did watch What If, you went into this not as overwhelmed, I feel like.
You would be familiar with Captain Carter. Otherwise, you were just like, who?
Who is this and what
Captain
happened?
Britain?
Yes.
But also another read between the lines thing is like we could very well get the Captain Britons.
Yep.
Protecting the multiverse.
Protecting the multiverse. Because they're fully aware. The Illuminati were fully aware of the multiverse and what to do to try and save it or try to.
I want to know how they were exploring it, though.
I don't think they were. I think they were just monitoring if there was a universal breach, if that makes sense, of any kind. Because they're not trying to go out there and look for things or trying to traverse the universe, the multiverse themselves. They're just trying to make sure nothing comes into theirs and messes with them.
Well, she was naming them, so
she was naming them. Well, yeah. Well, I guess Doctor Strange because he was dreamwalking through a lot in their universe, which is why they did what they did. So I think she might have just picked up where he taking off because he's still a doctor, so he's probably taking notes and all that.
Yeah,
good jazz.
and Reed Richards is in the comics, especially, is
The Council of Reeds.
very aware of the multiverse and how to traverse it.
We got the biggest one of all. I'm surprised. Like, I'm pretty sure on opening night, everybody like lost their mind, got up, applaud, and the movie like had to be paused so that they could applaud for 10 minutes. John Krasinski was
That blew my mind.
Mr. Fantastic.
I hoped, but I didn't actually think they were going to do it.
They did it. I don't know how they did it.
They pulled it off.
Yeah, and he looked. I was like, oh my god, you look good. You look great. Are you gonna stretch? Do some stretchy things.
So how did you feel about him as Reed Richards? Because some of the reviews I'm seeing, like, people were not really that impressed.
I liked him as Reed Richards. I mean, I know the movie is Doctor Strange, so it wasn't going to be like the Reed Richards show flipping over.
Right.
So, which is also why I was completely understanding, why they didn't have more cameos.
I think all of the Illuminati was kind of lackluster, to be honest with you, because they were taken out so quick.
Yes.
Which was basically, they just fridged the Illuminati for Wanda.
Yeah.
To make her look more powerful.
They did. They definitely did. But it also, like, I think the fact that they were in a different universe where it wasn't everything that we were dealing with, they were able to introduce a lot of things, because also the last member that they introduced was, of course, Professor Xavier in his 1992 little floaty wheelchair thing that covers his legs completely.
Yep. And the soundtrack to
and the soundtrack, yep. And also Captain Marvel, who was is it Monica?
Maria Rambeau.
Yeah, Maria Rambeau. I was about to say Monica. Yes, who was Maria Rambeau, which was also...
yeah, everybody pretty much guessed that one from the trailer.
Yeah.
Even though some people were still convinced it was Superior Iron Man.
Yes. So, excuse me, but yeah, they... And also, so they introduced the X-Men, they introduced the Fantastic Four.
Inhumans.
They introduced Inhumans because Black Bolt, because...
With his tuning fork.
Boo.
So the guy that played him, I thought played him well.
Yes.
Although I was not impressed by his stature.
I mean...
Black Bolt should be, like,
towering.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Every picture I've seen of Black Bolt has been like hero pose.
Yeah. So I think he was a good Black Bolt. I mean, I felt like I was looking at Black Bolt, and then when they gave us the flashback of him disintegrating the Doctor Strange of their world, I was like, woo.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's like me in every relationship.
But yeah, so as far as those cameos, they served their purpose. I thought they did well. I liked them all. I wouldn't.
So for, like, personally, in defense of Reed Richards, like, so or even any of these characters, like, they did the fan service thing, and some people are like, okay, well, yeah, you did the fan service thing. Now you can actually cast who you want, because we know Fantastic Four is coming. There are rumors that John Krasinski is going to star in it and direct, but then potentially Peyton Reed, or there's another name floating around. But I think his first appearance as Reed Richards, he didn't really have time to develop the character, and I'm sure they filmed all of these on a blue screen with nobody else there to maintain secrecy. So he didn't have anybody else to react with. There was no, like, that connection with the other. No chemistry off of anybody else, and it was kind of flat, you know. But the suit was a little weird, but it's a variant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not the suit that I think the MCU, the current timeline that we're following would have, because everybody's stuff was kind of different. Maria's Captain Marvel getup was a lot darker toned than Carol's was. Professor X, if we see him again, he probably won't be in that. And he also might be someone completely different or younger. I know James McAvoy is not coming back because he said, I'm good, fam.
Yeah. Recast.
Yeah. And if they do Black Bolt, just don't do what you did in the TV show. Black Bolt was actually, beside, I didn't.
Yeah. So, I mean, Vin Diesel has campaigned to play Black Bolt for
thank
years now. But the way he's been acting with this new Fast movie, like,
I'm good,
the director's leaving and The Rock and Feud, it's like, bruh.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work with you. Nobody wants to see that anymore. I'm sorry.
I am Groot. I am Groot. Have a good day.
Screwing the pooch. Why is that even a saying like this? Shooting himself in the foot.
Yes. But yeah, so then Wanda comes in and killed them all. One by one.
What mouth?
And I'm like, what? How did she do?
Yeah. So like Black Bolt, like that scene was like amazing. Like the way they did it and just wow.
Yep.
But if you know anything about Black Bolt, like dude is like so disciplined that the dude doesn't even talk or snore in his sleep. That's how disciplined he is. Because if he does,
he could destroy the universe.
Destroy everything.
Yeah.
So for him to be that freaked out where he just goes and or whatever, like that's the implications of that are just like
she caught him off guard.
Yeah.
Big time.
He panicked.
Yep.
And Black Bolt don't panic.
No. And so then Reed was like, "Oh, woo, stretchy arm."
They straight up called him Blackagon Boltagon.
Now, Reed then got. She's like, "You got a wife? Does your kids have a mom?" Yeah. Cool. Need somebody to raise those children. Don't want to orphan them. And she got, Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep. She got that man and spaghettied him.
Yeah. Ribbons.
And I'm like, so and that was the point. Was like, is this actually happening?
Yeah.
Is this like, or is she like Tsukiyomiing them and they're just like in their own head? Because
I cannot, like, how easily she took them out blew my mind. I think it just made them look really weak to where they could get another like female fight moment. It was like, but
I mean, well, hold on, yeah, because that's the ones who put up an actual fight.
Yeah, because I feel like, some people are saying, well, I thought Reed was the smartest man alive. He looked really dumb. But he's also very compassionate, and he's Reed Richards. He's going to try to reason with the psychopath.
He really did at first. Like, because he was trying to appeal to her humanity. They knew that she was dreamwalking. She was like, do you really want, like, if something happens to this Wanda's body, you're going to orphan 2 kids? And she's like, nah, I'll just take them. So, but then in everything, I mean, Reed's powers are to stretch. So, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna stretch and tie you up into a nice little bow. So that's what he was trying to do. And she was like, "Fam, I am magical." And yeah, shredded that man.
Yeah. So another huge implication and read between the lines moment is the fact that the Richards kids are alive and well. And that is not somebody you want to pick a fight with, Wanda.
No.
Because Franklin is coming for her.
Yes. her oh my God.
And I don't know if she could stand up to Franklin Richards.
Nope. She will probably lose.
So yeah, Wanda is a badass, but Franklin is God power. He's God level.
That universe has a problem now. That universe is Wanda has a problem because he not gonna care. Yeah. You're the one.
Better hope he's got a chance to calm down.
Yeah. So yeah, It was a lot, like I said, a lot of read between the lines in this entire movie.
And in my head, Emily Blunt is Sue Richards. Don't try to put anybody
also,
else.
yes, that was.
That was the other thing. The other person.
Missing chair.
There's a fan. It's not a fan casting, but I cannot think of the female actress that. The rumors are she's playing Sue Storm and she's directing, but I do not recall who the fan. Not the fan cast. Who it was.
Olivia Munn.
She's not a director. Not yet, anyway, as far as I know. And she's already Psylocke.
She is.
She's nobody else. She's Psylocke.
She's Psylocke.
Wonder Woman.
Halle Berry.
No, she's still. What are you doing,
I'm
man?
just saying names at this point.
No. I don't think Olivia Wilde. That would be dumb.
Anne Hathaway.
No.
Okay.
I do want to see Anne Hathaway in the MCU, though.
Yeah. As what?
I don't know. Definitely somebody dark-haired, of course. But
Charlize Theron. I'm just
stop. I'll have to look. I might have saved it. So, like, if you want to talk about it, I'll try to see if I've got it saved here.
So,
wait, yeah, here it is. My bad.
Okay.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Okay. Yeah, I see you.
Great director.
Yes. Okay.
Who is Marvel adjacent, directing Star Wars?
Okay. I can see you there. Yeah.
I want to see Emily Blunt because I want to see her and John Krasinski.
It's just such good chemistry.
Yeah, I mean they're
actually married. That's how it works.
That's how that works.
So yeah, she continued to dismantle the Illuminati.
And Emily Blunt originally was going to play Black Widow.
Oh.
And scheduling.
They made the right choice.
Didn't work out.
They made the right choice.
So she's already interested.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. So they could get the dynamic duo in there. She continued to dismantle the Illuminati. I think besides Black Bolt, who got it the worst was Professor X. Because Professor X,
cool.
He tried to put a stop to it, try to save other Wanda, and
that was a bit much. I thought, like the Professor X one, I thought was reaching a little bit.
In which way?
Because Scarlet Witch is a witch. But she deals in reality, not in the mental realm.
Yes.
And she straight up just murked him. And caught him off guard. And it was like, he's Dr. X. That's like where he lives.
He went into her...
Dr. X? Professor X.
Did I
say that?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing, trying to make sense of it, the only way I could think that she would have gotten him, like, clutched is if she had her mind walled with, like, several walls. Which is why all he could see was the door and then her trapped. But that was just bait so that she could get in there and like...
Hey, bro, she totally came out all like zombified.
Yep. That was long nails. Yep. It was woo.
That was nuts. That's Evil Dead Wanda right there.
Yep. So, and he got... and right there...
I think Scarlet Witch actually gave us a better... Dark Phoenix story than any other Dark Phoenix story we've gotten.
So she made a lot of enemies very quickly.
She did. They're coming for her. If she ain't dead, then she better hide.
She made enemies out of the X-Men. She made enemies out of the Avengers. She made enemies out of the Fantastic Four. She made enemies out of the Marvels, the Space Troopers, so it's called.
The Nova Corps.
The Nova Corps.
The Fantastic Four, and that's not just the Richards. Like there's a huge.
There's a lot. Yeah,
there's a big.
There's a lot. Fam, you might have a Ghost Rider coming after you.
Everybody from Hulk to Spider-Man to the Thing. Obviously,
they gotta have funerals.
Human Torch,
and the Inhumans.
Which
the simple fact the Inhumans and the X-Men are not at war is amazing, but now they have a common enemy. Fam, you are done. Run.
Like I cannot wait to see, because right now we're kind of phasing out of the Avengers stuff, and we're getting in more into other things. I think the Avengers are pretty much done. Like,
it's a very good segue, Dylan. How'd you do that? So
the
speaking.
X-Men. Oh yeah.
Speaking of which,
I cannot wait. I think the X-Men could be the next big thing, and I cannot wait.
The MCU X-Men's going to be off the charts. It's going to be great. But
I was about to say
Avengers maybe.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
I think the Avengers are still going to be there, and because they're in New York, the same state.
Ready for this next one? Because you keep doing this. Look at the next point. So, in all honesty, what do you think? You think it's going to be the Young or the West Coast?
I think both, to be honest.
But on like a smaller scale of like the threats they deal with?
Yeah.
Okay. I think so as well. Oh, well, so...
West Coast Avengers or Young Avengers?
The thing that we didn't get was another Kang.
Yeah. I was really hoping that we'd get something. Yeah, because you're dealing with multiverse, and this goes right into Kang. It
does.
It's like right in his backyard.
But so...
And we didn't get... I was hoping at least a cameo.
So
this
is also why... Did I put it on here?
Because we didn't get him in Moon Knight.
We did not.
I mean, we got Easter eggs, but...
So these next two are also why, like, I think this movie is a...
I think they're filming Quantumania right now.
Yeah. So once again, this movie is why I think it was just another setup or teardown, and not as it was an event movie, but more it ended up turning out to be more solo than event.
Yeah. I was expecting this movie to be the springboard for the future.
And it
had some stuff in it for sure, but it wasn't the huge
mega thing.
It wasn't tying up all the loose ends that and really consolidating and push and thrusting forward like I hoped it would be.
Yeah. So I think the next time we see a Kang will be the first time that it is actually Kang. And I think
if Kang is a small homegrown story and just kind of like a sidebar on the multiverse, I'm gonna be upset.
I'll be upset because it's basically 2 years of work going into a side story. But I think Kang first. I think we're gonna get the Young Avengers, and I think we're gonna get the Young Avengers. I think their sole purpose will to be bringing back the Avengers. Because I think Kang is going to poof all the adults. I think we're going to get a movie, it might even be an Ant-Man, who knows, where stuff starts getting crazy, starts getting hectic. Doctor Strange then shows up.
Is there a precedent for this in the comics?
Yes, because he does it.
Oh, okay.
That's why the next Avengers, it's one of the stories of why the next Avengers initiative, New Avengers, not next Avengers, New Avengers is... a new Avengers initiative is activated. The Avengers, they go fight Kang. Kang's like, gotcha, fools. Trap.
That's right.
Poof. Then, they get the new Avengers initiative, and then they fight Kang and bring the old Avengers back. So and I think that's what they're going to end up doing with the Young Avengers. Is all of them are gearing up to then bring everybody back, with America Chavez especially being able to go into other multiverses and all that.
Yeah, that's true. They're definitely setting that up hard.
Yeah,
Hulkling is the only one they haven't
done yet.
Established. Although Wanda's kids are still kids, so Quantumania, that. We're getting Kang. Kang is the big bad in Quantumania. That's going to be in February. I mean, that's not that long away. That's not that far away.
No.
Because it got bumped up from, I think, July, which is great because that's one of the big ones I'm looking forward to. But I'm starting to think, because with this, we're obviously moving towards Secret Wars. No doubt. But is Quantumania going to be the setup of the Kang as we know it, and just moving that forward?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're not going to wrap up the Kang story. They better not.
No.
If they defeat Kang,
they could defeat.
Unless another one shows up.
Yeah, like defeat a Kang, and then like the end of the movie or end credits, it's just another version of him walking out with different kind of armor and stuff.
Yeah, because that would be wasted potential.
Yeah.
Wasted potential. Especially now with Reed Richards in the mix.
Yep. So, oh my goodness, there's a lot there. Yeah.
And I mean, you can have the Council of Reeds. You can have the Captain Britons.
Captain Britons. Yeah.
Like all these.
Council of Kangs.
Yeah.
There's a
And
the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. There's a lot
Council
of
Spiders. Because you know Sony's going to be like, I want in on that.
That sounds fun, guys. Where's our seat at the table?
Yeah.
So there's a lot that can.
What color are we painting with? Red. Pulls out orange.
There's a lot that they could do with it, and on that it's exciting to see. Hopefully here soon. Here soon in February.
Yeah.
But the only like real question with that is, and I think this might be I think that's the end of that, and then it goes into the next one. Yeah. Okay. Doctor Strange. They said that he had the thing at the in the movie. Doctor Strange will return, but will he? I mean, will he be back in time for whatever? This
at least a Doctor Strange 3. Benedict Cumberbatch has said that he wants to play Doctor Strange for the next 10 years. And Kevin Feige has said that he will be like the main dude.
Okay. So he'll be back for taking a break from his adventures with his.
Because I mean, we're delving into the cosmic, and delving into the mystical. So there's they seem like very different things, but Doctor Strange is the one who traverses both.
Yeah.
Because he is Doctor Strange. I mean, it's literally in his name.
Yeah. So, I mean, the last scene of the movie, he's walking, everything's normal, drop down in the middle of the street. Ah! Eye pops in.
Raimi.
Yeah.
Very Raimi.
So, and then
then a couple seconds later, he's like, oh, I got control of this.
Yes, everything's fine.
I want to see that in between. There's a
finally get the debut of Clea, who will one day hopefully become his wife. And
maybe Sorcerer Supreme too.
And maybe Sorcerer Supreme. Don't kill
Ruler
Wong. Don't
of
kill
the Dark
Wong.
Dimension.
Please don't kill Wong. Please don't kill Wong. That's all
people are clamoring and campaigning for a Wong Disney Plus series. And he's got some ideas too.
I mean,
he's down for it. I feel like Wong is kind of sidelining Doctor Strange. That's really one of my only complaints about this Doctor Strange movie is that he wasn't really the main. Yeah, there was a lot of Doctor Stranges, and there was some great character building, and it kind of went around him. But I feel like everybody else kind of shined more than him.
Which was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I did feel like that at times, too.
Yeah, the Wong as Sorcerer Supreme thing is almost getting to the point where it's like the Wolverine Cyclops thing. It's almost like awkward to have, okay, you're starting to, shelf Doctor Strange.
Yeah, just a bit. I mean, I think, because, I mean, at this point, we've seen Wong more than we've seen Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. We saw Wong.
He was in
Shang-Chi twice.
Doctor Strange was in Spider-Man, but
Wong is training Abomination still, or something.
Yeah.
They didn't say anything about that. Wong was also in Spider-Man. Yep. What else was he in? I feel like we're missing one thing.
Yeah.
Wong is the one talking to the Avengers and everything, who did not see Doctor Strange. When Shang-Chi took the 10 rings, Wong was talking to him and Bruce and Captain Marvel, and Strange was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if Wong was not the Sorcerer Supreme, that would make sense. because Sorcerer Supreme is out doing other things, but Wong is Sorcerer Supreme. He should be worried about other things, and Doctor Strange doing this type of thing for him.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, it feels kind of backwards.
Yeah, a little bit, yes. Especially if...
And I know they're playing off of the whole, like in the comics, Wong was like his assistant or whatever, his manservant.
Essentially, yes. But yeah, and so, I don't know, I think...
And Benedict Wong, the actor that plays him, is phenomenal. So
he is.
If he gets a Disney Plus series, like, I will say the full sidelining of Doctor Strange is complete. because
he's
because fans are like, it's
They're
just like fans got more on board with Hugh Jackman than Cyclops, you know? So they sidelined Cyclops big time.
Which would suck for Doctor Strange.
And there are huge repercussions in the comics.
Yep.
So if Wong becomes he's already a fan favorite, but if he becomes even more of a fan, like eclipses Doctor Strange, then
we got some things.
We got a problem because that contract.
Yes.
Speaking of contract, there are rumors that Elizabeth Olsen has just signed another 7-year contract.
So yes, what's the end of the movie?
Is she or isn't she?
Even
if she is dead, there's still tons of other Wandas out there.
There are. So yeah, with the end of the movie, we saw Wanda. Well, we saw a building falling on Wanda, and then a puff of red magic. Yeah. Don't know what that could have been.
Yeah, she could have been blipping out of there. She could have been just her magic leaving her dead body.
She can atomize, because that's what she was doing to Undead Strange. That's why he was like doing all this extra mess, not his mouth right here. Like why he was half skeleton, half alive.
Oh, got you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like it was like burning up, eating half his face and stuff.
So she can do that. There's many a possibility. She could just be going off to find a hole to live in and just be an old hag and become Baba Yaga. But so like I said, there's also other Wandas out there who are also mutants instead of Infinity Stone babies. Doctor Strange meets Clea. Clea comes to find him because he caused some type of incursion that's making the dark dimension slam into something else. Yeah,
and incursions, just the mention of incursions, it's a huge Easter egg.
Yep.
Huge read between the lines thing.
So, and that's also why I like in Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania, Kang showing up. I mean, obviously he's the villain, but him poofing all the adults out once they come there, I think is really going to happen because he will only come back if his future is in jeopardy. And if the timeline he is in is incurred upon or it has an incursion, then he's like, oh, fam, I got to go fix this and find out who is the reason for all of this. Oh, it is you? Dead.
So we are getting a Loki season 2. I wonder, obviously that's directly tied to
Doctor Strange.
Directly tied to Kang, because the last moments there was this giant thing, and what's her name, the agent, and Owen Wilson's character were discussing
Agent 13.
No.
Who is Agent
B
13?
Something.
Yes. B12.
That's a vitamin. So yeah, they were discussing what like they were kind of like, what does he want? Just them to start expanding and going unchecked and crashing into each other. So there's a lot to unpack still in that last episode of Loki.
Yeah.
That we're going to be going back to a lot. I think we're still going back to, but so we know season 2 is coming. I wonder if season 2. I don't think they're filming it right now. Maybe they are.
We can look after. Yeah.
Yeah, but if it comes out and leads into Quantumania, that would be
Quantumania leads into it.
potentially. Yeah, one or the other.
One or the other. We're still waiting on this other shoe to drop of like something leading directly into another thing, because like we were supposed to kind of get some of that before the pandemic and everything, but everything
Things
changed,
got out of order
and flipped around
scheduling. And,
yep. So I think we're still waiting on that.
Which I think that's why it kind of feels disjointed, because of COVID in there, and we didn't get things in the order they were supposed to come in.
Yep.
And so another thing is a lot of people WandaVision came out a year ago. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be set up like Moon Knight, like directly right before it, lead into it. So you get that last image of Wanda being corrupted by the Darkhold.
Yep.
And then it goes in to her have been corrupted by the Darkhold.
Yep.
Because a lot of people were like upset. It's like, oh, you undid Wanda's story arc and her acceptance of Vision. Is like, fam, she's corrupted. Like, this is like Lord of the Rings shit.
It wasn't her
This is the
anymore.
One Ring. Like, she is not herself. She is not in control.
So
and that's why it took all those talks of her breaking out, and she have a moment of just like, and then freaking Doctor Strange almost had her, but then he had to shoot her with something.
Yep.
Because she was like processing.
Yep.
I was like, just let it happen, bro.
It'll be fine. Just let it. No.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then she ends up turning back, essentially, after she got a couple star punches from America Chavez.
Yeah, with the kids.
With
the kids did it, snapped her out of it.
Yep. So she destroyed every Darkhold, like we said before.
That was her Frodo and Sam moment.
Yep. And then poof, magic. Every Darkhold in every universe was destroyed because she was at a nexus point.
But did she destroy every Mount Wundagore in every universe?
That was the one.
Every universe, though. So there's only the one?
There's only the one.
Just like there's only one Book of Vishanti?
Yes. Because...
So, yeah, the Book of Vishanti, when they open it up, there's a star.
Uh-huh.
So just like the Darkhold foretold of Wanda, the Book of Vishanti foretold of America Chavez.
Yep.
And that's why there was only one, because there's only one of her.
Yep.
Which I feel like they could have explained a little bit more. Like, it was a little bit rushed.
There was a couple things that were, but they had... There was, like I said, there's a whole bunch of more movie that was probably out.
Yeah, the cutting room floor. Like, there are apparently some deleted scenes that they've started talking about online that the writer has talked about. So that'd be amazing if they released them, kind of like how Batman released that deleted scene of the Joker,
which was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there might have been a Tom Cruise on the cutting room floor.
Oh. Mm-hmm. But yeah, because the Darkhold he was using was destroyed, and he was like, she destroyed every Darkhold.
Mm-hmm.
So, because she destroyed the source.
Yeah.
But with Wanda potentially gone, that's how Agatha's free.
Potentially. That's how she could get free for sure if Wanda's power waned.
Yeah. And so the spell broke, and now she's...
The Darkhold's gone, so she might keep the moniker Scarlet Witch, but she's not powered the same.
No, she's not overpowered.
Yeah.
I think she's still powerful.
Yeah, because now she knows how to use it.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have the whole entire Darkhold and Chthon at her back.
Dear God, yes.
So Chthon is a thing.
Chthon's a super thing.
That's
yeah.
So the introduction of Chthon and Mount Wundagore, another read between the lines, huge implications.
Yep.
And also, we talked about the connecting of the mystic stuff
with the cosmic,
the sorcery stuff, and the cosmic stuff. In Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it's confirmed, or I'm pretty sure it's confirmed that the guy that played in Peacemaker, the black guy that was like the leader of the team, is playing the High Evolutionary, Herbert.
Okay.
Herbert the High Evolutionary. So huge Mount Wondagore tie-ins right there. He is the one that basically like the bovine guy
Yeah.
that was in Doctor Strange, like the animal creatures.
Yes. Made all them.
Yeah, the Manimals. He created all those. We got the Bova Easter egg from WandaVision.
Yeah.
So like there's a whole secret history of that they may or may not go into to retcon Wanda's past.
Wow.
And with the introduction of the High Evolutionary in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, he's a thing. He's there.
Yeah.
And he has done some messed up stuff on Earth at Mount Wondagore.
Yeah. Because and this is how you know. When she got up there and like the runes on the table started to glow, and then she realized that it was an altar, she was like, "Oh, that's neat. That has nothing to do with what I'm doing, but that's really neat." So there was a lot of like things are happening, but we're not going to tell you that's happening. It's like playing Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. You don't know actually where to go. You just got to figure it out. So yeah.
Or Elden Ring, which they figured out remarkably fast.
Yes. 60 hours in. I think I got this game now. I've only died 2,000 times.
Yeah, Let Me Solo Her is like destroyed it.
Yes. Oh, man. So, last thing. There's just question. Do you think it is too big now?
Remains to be. I have faith that I feel like it's gotten too big. I feel like it's disjointed. But I like I said, I think that's because we're at the beginning of a new story. Mm-hmm. And so we don't have all the pieces like we're used to in phase 3, where we were seeing everything come together and we got Endgame, and now we're resetting. And that's why it feels off, and it feels like we don't know what's going on. Everything feels disjointed, disconnected, and not to mention COVID.
Yeah.
And all the rescheduling issues and all these things, and things being released out of order, which, of course, will be fixed on Disney Plus when they show the order of watching everything. So with considering those things, I'm waiting. I thought Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was going to be the one, and it went in the right direction, but it didn't get me there.
I think that one is
Thor 4.
For whatever reason, I think there's going to be something in that movie that's going to my brain. And I don't know why. It just like I have this gut feeling.
I don't know. I think it's going to be incremental, like it was before.
Yeah.
We get Captain America, we get Thor, but that's the only thing is we don't have a Coulson to make it feel connected.
Yeah, because they're not going to probably.
Yeah, I mean we had Val, as far as like ground level.
As far as Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like there was no Val show up at the end of this and go, "Hey Wanda, I got somebody."
Yeah. So I feel like, personally, with everybody having the knowledge of how the movies have been for the past actual decade,
Go ahead.
I think they're waiting too long to pull the big trigger, whatever it may be, incremental or not. They still need to like put some breadcrumbs, give you a bit more of a taste, a chunk of a taste, have a salt lick out there, let you go with that, or then have something else to like distract you. Because I mean, even though phase 1 was what Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Avengers, Iron Man 2, I guess, before Avengers. Yeah, Avengers. That's 5 movies. We've had 3 TV shows, 3 movies, 4 movies,
4 TV shows,
Moon Knight as well. Yeah, I wouldn't count Moon Knight only because that one feels like it's a super bubble. But yeah, we've had all this stuff, and like they've made these references and Easter eggs, and yeah, it's all the deep cuts and it's comic accurate outfits and everything. But it's not even like figuring out if there's going to be another Avengers or whatever. It's you make all these movies seem like these big events, but then it turns out to just be like
Just another piece of the puzzle. We thought we were getting
stretchy solo movies.
Yeah.
So
which feels repetitive, and it's fatigue is setting in.
Yeah.
Especially for people who already want something to complain about the MCU.
Yeah. It feels a tad like sometimes you feel a tad cheated.
Yeah.
Because you're spending.
To be honest, I think that Kevin Feige might be getting might be understanding that, because on the red carpet for the premiere of Multiverse Madness, they asked him, and a lot of people were like, okay, well, who screwed up the multiverse? And they asked him on the red carpet, and he was like, oh, well, then he explained that it was Sylvie killing He Who Remained that allowed these things to happen, and that's why things are scrambled. They're all falling apart and coming unraveled slowly but surely because of that one moment. And so like he had to explain that. So I think he kept insisting it's all there. But I think hopefully that moment is him realizing, okay, wait a minute, well, maybe it's not as clear as I thought it was.
So, because like the thing with Phase 1, and we knew,
he needs to throw us a bone.
Yeah, and knowing it was going to the Infinity Saga, after each of the Avengers movies, and I think there was another movie in there as well, and even Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers 1, and then Avengers 2. Mm-hmm. We got End of Avengers 1, to fight them is the core death. Thanos turn around, smile. Mm-hmm. End of Avengers 2, I guess I'll do this myself. Grab Gauntlet, put it on, that's it, he's gone. Mm-hmm. Guardians of the Galaxy, full on Thanos. I'm searching for the Infinity Stones. I'll let you borrow one. You bring it back. If you don't, I'll destroy you, your family, and your dog.
Yeah, daughters of Thanos. A little more backstory in the big guy.
Like, and so we just haven't had that kind of moment to like.
Yeah, and that was Phase 2.
Yeah.
We're still in, like, if we're resetting, this would be Phase 1.
Yeah.
And we're a year in? No.
2 years.
We're 3 years from Endgame.
Oh, I was coming from WandaVision. Because that's when stuff really started back.
Yeah, it kind of started it back.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think WandaVision. Well, Black Widow. Yeah, because we had a year of COVID that was everything on lockdown and no theater, no nothing.
In truth,
2 years
I know not WandaVision. I know Black Widow came out before. Came out after Endgame, but I count it in the same phase.
Phase 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were looking for that thing that ties everything together or thrusts the story forward enough. Like we need a Coulson or a Nick Fury to show up. Like I want to know what Nick Fury thinks of this Wanda thing, because he's obviously aware of it.
Has to be.
Like what is his thoughts on it? I want to know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Because he's out in front of it in some way.
And Tony's gone to like. I think that's also the other thing is like. I know. Not saying that like Chris Evans or Robin Downey Jr. were the glue. They were definitely like the guys.
Chris Evans or RDJ was, but because he basically was the catalyst that made everybody else sign on. Yeah. And he made phone calls to certain people, like, "Hey, you need to get in on this."
Yeah, and it just feels. Even in the Iron Man movies,
we need somebody like that.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch, I don't know, like, he's Benedict Cumberbatch, but I don't think he's no RDJ.
Yeah. But it's still good. Still good at what he does. Mm-hmm. I think the only real issue, and this is my last thought, is that some of the, and it's once again, full circle, which means conversation's over, is the fact that we are so in deep water that the two options are be weird or weirder. And that's just kind of where it is, if that makes sense.
Deep water,
as in like as far as surface level stuff, the stuff that's like easily to digest, they've gone. I feel like they've gone through most of it. Guardians was the first like dip in. Like we'll see how everyone receives this. Oh, they like it. They like the talking raccoon and tree. Okay, let's give them a little bit more of this.
Yeah,
and let's continue digging and see how far until we hit a rock.
I don't know. I feel like there's still going to be the ground level stuff, like with Hawkeye and Young Avengers. Young Avengers is going to, I think, kind of marry the two because it's connected to the Avengers directly with all the, basically the spawns of the originals. And then it's going to go into the Kang territory.
Yeah.
And but I think also Multiverse Madness is one of it. Like it feels more grounded because Doctor Strange was one of the originals, from the first saga. And it's good to have him back. Good to see him back. That's why Loki felt so grounded. Why everybody was so invested in Loki, because it was like we need that through line. Instead of just like a hard reset, we need those characters and those people to
help mold
push the next thing forward, at least through phase one until we're in it enough to know where we are.
To figure out what road we're actually on. So, but yeah.
But so with Daredevil and Echo on the way, I think that the ground level stuff, the more grounded stuff is still going to be happening, and I think they're going to walk the line and do both. Captain America and the Winter Soldier too.
Yeah. So, but like that's like the thing I'm talking. Like, yes,
and
everyone
Captain
knows.
America 4 is nowhere on the they're writing it.
Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about time.
It's not on the horizon just yet.
They're starting to use
phase 5 thing.
Possibly. So, what I mean by weird and weirder, it's like Doctor Strange is weirder as far as like everything that he deals with, but the weird is
not to mention the occult in America.
Yes, is like bringing in a lot of characters that might not be as to the forefront as like some of the others. True. Like you go to somebody and say, "Who's this?" and show them a picture of the Hulk. They'll be like, "Oh, that's the Hulk." Who's this? Oh, that's my wife's blow-up doll.
No, that's Clea. Like who?
So yeah, that's that's the type of thing I mean. But like the weird is like, who is this character? What's their power? That's weird. Why
does his wife have a blow-up doll?
Yeah. and then then like
the recognition is diminishing.
Yeah. So and it's because they don't have Spider-Man. If they had Spider-Man, I feel like things would be a bit smoother.
Yeah. That makes things rocky. That's why they need to get the Fantastic Four and the X-Men
in here
or in soon.
Yeah.
Like those. Reed Richards was a good step in the right direction. Mm-hmm. And of course, Professor X, to where we know that it's there and it's a possibility, even though it's like it's still out there.
Still out there.
But we know that it's coming.
Yeah.
So it's a nod. It's something. It's something for sure.
Yeah.
But once those get started, I feel like that's when the momentum is going to pick up.
Yeah. We can start getting like things in directions
that's
again.
When you can get excited.
Yeah. You see Doctor Doom being in Egypt walking into a pyramid. Have you found it?
Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask you. So we're definitely going towards Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Keanu Reeves has reportedly been cast.
As Doctor Doom.
Do you not necessarily as Doctor Doom? You think as Doctor Doom?
I think.
Do you think he'd make a good Doctor Doom?
I think he would make a good Doctor Doom.
I don't know if he has the gravitas in his voice, at least.
I mean, Josh Brolin had to get a little scruff added to his, even though he has a.
He's got a scruffy voice.
It's
deeper.
He had to get alien sound added to his voice. But I think he can, because I think the Doctor Dooms that we've seen, they've been.
I feel like Doctor Doom needs to have like a booming voice. When he speaks, it's like you feel it in your chest.
I think Doctor Doom needs to. Which president was it? With mustache, Teddy Roosevelt. I think he is speak softly and carry a big stick. Like he speaks. You have to
kind of like a meek Doctor Doom.
Not meek Doctor Doom. If he gets to the point where he has to like raise his voice, you're already dead. There's no point. It's the presence, not necessarily like the presence of what he is and what he can do. That is what's terrifying. Like always kind of chill, calm, quotations around chill and calm. But if it gets to a point where he has to do violence, you're dead. Yeah.
I just don't, I don't know. I'm not seeing the mannerisms and the embodying of, Keanu is a gifted actor, and I think is great for certain roles. I'm just not seeing Doctor Doom. But that's the assumption, though. Yeah. That's the assumption. With that, do you think that they're going to remix that character into Kang for Secret Wars?
I hope not.
God level Doctor Doom.
Ew. I'd be fine with
because the Russos said that that's the one thing that they'd come back for, and we know that they were in talks with Marvel to direct another movie because of when the Don't Say Gay bill was in dispute and Disney hadn't really put their foot down on something yet. The Russos spoke out and stopped talks with them.
Okay.
So we know we know for a fact it's coming.
I'd rather for him to be the infamous Iron Man than anything else. But whatever.
Keanu?
Yeah. If they're gonna do like a remix, but even that's not a remix, just Doctor Doom using Iron Man's armor. Okay. I don't want Doctor Doom to be a Kang because I want every Kang to be Jonathan Majors, but not every Kang will look like Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, for them to pull off the Iron Lad thing, that's got to be...
Yeah. But even with... So, like, the most recent Kang run, it was just a 6-issue run. It was him making sure he created himself. And he went back, met Iron Lad in the future, his past, whatever, took him to, all the stuff. And so if they give that any type of, like, story involving that, and Iron Lad isn't like a young black child,
yeah,
I'll be like, this is weird. All right, now you're gonna have to do some real explaining.
Well, we know that. So Nathaniel Richards, which is who Kang is a Richards.
Yes.
And we have Reed Richards in the MCU now. So
yes. So
somebody married somebody with dark skin. Somewhere down the line.
Somewhere down the line, some stuff got interesting. Yeah. So
which is completely possible. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
so we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. All right.
Yeah. I want to see, because in order for Kang, well, I think to validate Kang, you have to make Reed pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And plus Reed, it needs to be awesome anyway, because they're the first family of Marvel.
Yeah.
They need to knock that out of the park.
They
need to.
They've had 2 failed franchises. Under Fox. The Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. I thought you were talking about Marvel's had 2. I was like, ooh.
Well, they
Captain Marvel, maybe?
The MCU has had 1. And then we don't even consider the MCU at that point because it was
humans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we don't talk about Bruno.
All right. You got anything else?
I also want to hear what Monica Rambeau has to say about Wanda after WandaVision.
She's in space. Real talk, I think she's in space.
Yeah, but I want to see that reaction. I want to see when
back.
she finds out that her friend broke bad.
She's like, oh dang, oops.
Or I mean, they're not necessarily like friends, but somebody that she's invested in.
Yeah. Thor's gonna die.
Think so?
He's gonna get poofed by Kang. Cause
we still need to do a Thor breakdown.
Yes. Okay, so what's next in the MCU?
Typically we do Marvel news right now. I'm going to skip that. I'm going to do Marvel news and another video, and I think potentially doing that in a separate video from now on. But I would like to still get that interaction with you, so we'll work that out.
Okay,
we'll figure that out. Might just be a different format. Next up in the MCU, still have no hard dates on She-Hulk, mid 2022. I Am Groot is going to be mid to late 2022. Secret Invasion,
saw a poster for that.
Late 2022.
I Am Groot finally.
And then What If season 2 sometime this year. We got Doctor Strange in theaters right now. Miss Marvel is going to hit us next month, less than a month away, for Ms. Marvel to begin on June 8th. Okay. And that leads directly into Thor, Love and Thunder on July 8th. Werewolf by Night Halloween special, October 2022, October of this year. Black Panther 2, November 12th, or November 11th, rather. And Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special this year. And they said there are going to be new characters in that. So that could be an interesting, fun thing. Definitely fun. So, yeah, that's all we've got for this year. Of course, there are tons of other things on the horizon that we have dates for.
A weird, funny thing that would make no sense. If they have like a whole bunch of gifts on a table and one of the tags, you have to be eagle-eyed to catch it. One of the tags just says from Kang, and then under it, see you soon.
It's purple.
It's purple.
Purple with a green ribbon, like the Joker wrapped it.
Is Joker the Kang?
That's the cross verse.
Joe Kang. Oh, I get it. Sorry.
I forgot the other thing we did talk about. Like, where the hell is Vision?
Oh yeah, where is Big Daddy V with his turtleneck?
You've seen the Vision. Yeah, this would have been a perfect opportunity to bring Vision back. I feel like that's a plot hole.
Just like a black hole.
Why? Because he's Vision again. He's got all Vision's memories. Yeah. Like Wanda is his bae. Why? Where was he? Why does he not reunite with her?
Why didn't? Yeah.
How could he bear to see her in pain and not persevere?
There's only. I think we only got 3 options for it. 1,
he's captured.
2, he's in Wakanda. 3,
or he's in space.
Or he's just in space.
No idea.
In the atmosphere, looking down.
Dude literally went for cigarettes and
never came back. It's worrisome.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like that. Like, I get the kids thing was important to her.
And also...
But Vision, the presence of Vision, like, where was Vision, at least in the other universes?
Yeah.
Because...
At least. Those kids got there somehow.
Yeah, because he never got... In that one, if he made Ultron... Well, okay, maybe there wasn't a Vision since Ultron succeeded in that universe. But still, where's the Mind Stone? Then.
Where was it before? In Loki's scepter?
It was in Loki's scepter, that's right.
Real super fast. They beat Loki, they take the scepter, scepter never falls. It fell in the hands of Hydra. Captain Britain wouldn't play that. She sure wouldn't play it. Then from there, but Ultron succeeds because there wasn't a Tony that we saw who was...
Well, we know the Ultron Sentries, like, he succeeded making Ultron. Like, there was no evil Ultron.
Was it him? Or was it Hank?
I think Reed was the one that worked it out.
Oh, yeah. Well, Reed would have made Ultron. Yeah. He would have been the one that would have made sure Ultron didn't do the destroy all humans. There are no strings on me type of thing. So
Ross
yeah.
Marquand, though.
Ooh, excuse me, yes. So Ultron, which was, yeah, because it's the voice from cartoons, made me tear up. It's like, oh. But yeah, Ultron never happened, so the Mind Stone never happened, so he didn't need to make a body, so Vision never happened. But then who's the father of the children?
That's a good question. Who's the daddy?
Unless it's Vision of how he actually went. Well, still need Ultron. No matter how you go about it.
There's no Vision without evil Ultron.
Yeah. Wow. Who is the father of those children? I know we didn't find a plot hole. I mean,
and why are they the same children?
Exact same children. Unless,
so with the theory, or not the theory, but confirmed that when they are dreaming, they're sliding through, but they're viewing their other multiverse self. They're basically dreamwalking-ish, without control, but peering into their other multiverse selves.
Ooh.
If that's what's happening, then she could have very well dreamt of those kids at some point, and her future with Vision or whatever. And that's why they looked like that. So I mean, it's easily explained, I guess. Okay, we are officially dipping back into the...
I'm trying not to. I feel like if you go back and watch every other MCU movie with the knowledge of that, your dreams are going through the multiverse. Before the time break, then you're dreaming of a potential timeline that's getting snuffed out by the TVA.
Yeah.
Until the time break happens, and then you're dipping into another hole.
Yeah, and there were other universes, they just weren't in the way.
Allowed to exist. Yeah.
They weren't in the way of the main thing. But we know that also Tony dreamt of him and Pepper having a kid named Morgan.
Yeah.
And then eventually they did have a kid and named her Morgan.
Yeah. Well, all right. I don't have anything else. You have anything else?
That's all I got. Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep. So thanks for joining us. We hope that you will join us live on YouTube and all these other channels on Thursdays, 9:30 Central Standard Time. However, there'll be no episode next Thursday. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell icon so you know when we drop new videos, when we go live, and follow us on, these are our Twitter handles, our Musker handles. I don't know if he's going to rename it. Probably not. But anyways, yeah. So follow us on those, and you can tell. We'll try to post when we decide to cover other things on there, so you can see what's what, and ask us questions. Let's get the conversation going, and don't forget to check out the website at www.broken.picturesno.com. And my name is exhausted. I am tired.
Also, yes.
And yep, we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Peace. Bye.
Peace. Hold on. Let me find there it is.
The outro. He was about to start it off. He's like, bye. It's true.